others who work behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor would say,
if it's something you want, just go after it and try it.
But they mention from the seat of their John Deere Gator UTV,
you can't be all work and not play.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Live 100.5 and 790 Newsroom. This is WSGW News.
It's 22 degrees at 9:05. Good morning. I'm Dave Maurer. A Midland man is looking to run for state senate, representing residents in Midland, Bay City, and Saginaw in the 35th District. Chris Velasquez is a small business owner who also worked for nearly 30 years at Dow Corning. He also serves on the State STEM Advisory Council, which makes recommendations to state officials on STEM education. Velasquez, running as a Republican, says he understands the burden of government impacting small business and wants to remove barriers and attract jobs and investment. Saginaw Valley State University and the firm conducting its search for a new president have developed a leadership profile that outlines the key qualifications, experience, and values they're looking for. WSGW's Ann Williams has more.
More than 250 SVSU stakeholders, including students, faculty, staff, alumni, and community members, took part in listening sessions and provided input to shape the profile that's been posted on the presidential search website. An 18-member search advisory committee will review and interview candidates in late spring and early summer, and then identify a list of eligible candidates to the Board of Control. The Board of Control will review the candidates, conduct interviews. Anyone can submit nominations and recommendations by the deadline of Monday, April 25th to the search firm Whit Kiefer by email. SVSU President Donald Basham plans to retire at the end of this year. Ann Williams, News Radio, 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 9:06.
Spring is here. Longer, warmer days, trees budding, perennial flowers blooming, and the return of our state bird, the robin. What we're not looking forward to is rain, flooding, thunderstorms. No one wants to be caught off guard. Heavy downpour. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning can help you plan ahead to avoid a flooded basement. They sell and install primary electric pumps, as well as water and battery-powered backup pumps. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning can also bring you back to normal from a wet basement with maintenance or replacement of a flooded water heater, furnace, or boiler. Trust the experts with your plumbing and heating mechanical needs in your home. You have a family doctor. Do you have a family plumber? Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. 989-792-8738. Or find them on the web at
Any way you spell it.
WSGW News Time now 9:07. As it has for months, the labor shortage remains the number one challenge facing small business owners, with older Michigan residents and women with children leaving the workforce at a rapid pace. Brian Kelly is president and CEO of the Small Business Association of Michigan.
It rose to the number one issue that we hear from our members about after the closures ended and the restrictions ended last spring, in spring of 2021. It shifted over to, we can't find the people. And unfortunately, there's no light at the end of that tunnel at the moment.
Despite the bleak outlook, Kelly says the entrepreneurial spirit in Michigan is burning stronger than ever. Perhaps it's another sign the pandemic is mostly behind us, at least for now. Starting next week, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services will only update its COVID-19 case and death weekly rather than 3 times a week. The totals will include both confirmed and probable cases and deaths. The shift comes at a time when case rates and deaths from the virus are at their lowest point in Michigan since last August. Now there's a new snake in the auto business, the Ford F-150 Rattler. Here's Autobeat reporter Jeff Gilbert.
Ford's F-1 aimed at having a more affordable off-road pickup. It comes with 4-wheel drive and off-road amenities like skid plates and locking differential. Car makers have been doing more to come up with new pickup packages, and there has been a growing interest in going off-road.
Gilbert says Ford will announce pricing for the F-150 Rattler later. A major sporting event is coming to the city of Detroit. It was a few weeks ago that the beans were spilled that Detroit was one of 3 finalist cities to draft, and the league just announcing yesterday afternoon that the Motor City has beat out Green Bay, Wisconsin, and Washington, D.C. to host the 2024 NFL Draft. Dave Beach now is the executive director at the Detroit Sports Commission.
Likely the biggest event that we've hosted since Super Bowl, and the impact that it has both from an economic standpoint as well as the community impact, because unlike a lot of the other major events, this is free and open to the public. And so it will allow our local residents and community to be engaged like they never had before with some of the other events.
The area around Hart Plaza and Campus Martius Park in downtown Detroit will host the festivities. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 989-752-0790. It's 910. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your Weatherology forecast. A winter weather advisory goes in effect tonight. Mostly sunny for today. Highs will top out near 41 degrees. Winds turn to the southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, increasing clouds, snow showers, and freezing rain develops or builds into the area after midnight. Even some sleet can mix in at times. Some light ice accumulation in addition to a dusting of snow and sleet possible by Wednesday morning. Lows drop to 30. And then Wednesday, that wintry mix changes over to rain early and highs get into the 50s. This is meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Right now it's 23.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, the Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WS.
Well, good morning. Welcome back. The Art Lewis Show here on WSGW from my Second on Spirit home studio. Nice to have you with us on this Tuesday morning. Brought to you by Linda Shepherd at Pinnacle Realty. 989-295-7713 is the number to call to have Linda go to work for you for all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, or stop in and visit her at The Point, M46 and M47 in Saginaw Township, the former ISD building, where you'll also find Cafe 476 and all its delicious soups and foods and beverages. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, we'll talk to Midland Mayor Maureen Donker about the state of the city. And at 11, on Focus, we will look at Rocket Grab Plus. But for this hour, the beginning of this hour, we're going to talk to State Representative Tim Beson. And we say good morning to the representative. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Art.
Glad to have you with us this morning. You've been a busy boy. I mean, you've been in the news a lot. We've uttered your name numerous times in the news recently. Let's take a look first at the success. That would be the Michigan Law Enforcement Memorial Monument. Tell us about that and what your legislation did.
So the legislation made it so we're not going back every 5 years like a sunset. So there's actually funding to keep our Michigan Memorial Monument open and not just to cut the grass, but actually to put on the new fallen heroes that gave their life in the line of duty.
So explain to me, wasn't it permanently funded when it was built?
It was. Some of the joys of working in Lansing, you realize that we do a great job. We do a great job of getting something started, but our follow through is like left for the next people that are elected, and that's kind of troublesome because we don't look farther down than the 6 years while we're there, or the 8 years, right? And to make big changes in Michigan, we have to start looking at stuff that is funded once we've made something a great memorial monument like this. It's awesome. It's something to see at nighttime. It lights up. It looks like you're in the Caribbean. It's a great representation of all our fallen heroes. And I got to tell you, to put something on and like we make a great committee, we make a great commission, we get all this money to do it, and after it's built, we don't know what to do. And that's the foresight, like that. You know, people that are in business, they have to like think down. And this is something that it's now funded forever. And when people do die, I think there's 50 plus people waiting to get on this. We have the room. Yeah, there's 50 people waiting to get on this. And all we have is the funds, right, to cut the grass and keep it so it looks the way it does instead of add people to it. So my bill makes sure the funding continues forever. It's in our general budget.
And it was signed by the governor too. Is that correct? So it is now.
It was signed by the governor. She was there. Not that I got a chance to meet her, but maybe someday. But it was signed by the governor, and she had a press release. But we worked. So keeping these kind of things that are just, a very good value to our state. You know, like it's amazing at nighttime. You got to see it sometime. It's right across from the Veterans Memorial. Court, Michigan Supreme Court. It lights up. It is amazing.
Wow, I will have to go see it. So that one is taken care of historically and forever. One that you weren't quite as successful with in tax reductions, the governor has vetoed the tax legislation. Tell us about the legislation and what it would have done.
Well, there were two types there, right? The first of all was I'm trying to support everybody that's still going to work, that's driving with their vehicle, that has to get out and do the everyday things, whether it's your 7-Eleven or your police officer, your fireman, everybody that has to drive to work. We really are getting hosed at the pump.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah, I mean, like, even us during election time, we're driving around and we are using the gas, and it's that part, the people that are actually out doing the job, that have to drive in, that have to do all the work. That was the best way to not single out the people that are working from home, but actually give the people that are keeping our Michigan economy going. Like they're doing it. So that was one thing. And then also the backside was we're still trying to, I hope we get something for the pension. So that way, if you were born before 1959 or after 59, you have a different tax rate than people that didn't. And when we close those loopholes and make it so that way people will want to stay in Michigan instead of like leave once they retire because they're getting penalized here.
Yeah, I understand it perfectly well because I pay that tax. So I understand what you're talking about. But again, that was vetoed by the governor. So is there any chance of bringing these things back individually? Is there any notion that she's willing to sit down and talk about, for example, the pension reduction?
Yeah, it's funny you say even the talking, right? Even if I would have, maybe she would have said, hey, like some of the bills that we get vetoed, maybe if we wouldn't had even like a chance to talk to her and say, hey, can you come back to the plate? Maybe as a whole or individually, sooner or later, she's got to connect to us. She's got to connect to our side that legislates, like the bill that just went through for that supplement bill, all that money, which is all one-time buys, trying to help from our federal government that we pretty much, we got to figure out comes back and works with us. Like I say, it's kind of concerning as I am a state rep, right? And I've never met her. I've never had the chance to meet her. So when she says that she works with us, I'm just trying to figure this out. And a bunch of us freshmen on both sides of the aisle would really like to, get in the room and discuss it. Like what do we think that we could do? But that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, and you don't sense it's going to happen either. I hear it in your voice.
I just feel like we can't make Michigan awesome until we get everybody to the table working together, right? I mean, let's be honest. Like, it doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat or Republican. If all we have is the news blowing up both sides, and they still, and like, even this, like a great example is just getting us in small groups. Let's just start working together, find stuff that works. And I mean, I work well across both aisles. I did great functions with different Dems down there. But the idea is to work together and find something that works. Our state, it's not. I don't understand why it runs like it does, because it's not like a well-oiled machine.
Well, unfortunately, though, politics has gotten to that point, not only in the state but in the country. The well-oiled machine concept, I think, is out the window, which is too bad.
I don't think it's too late. I'm an optimist.
Well, I don't think it's too late. I just think it's too bad that it is that way.
Yep. And I think that we got to get people back involved into their school, into the political realm. I always tell everybody, I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, you got to put your name on the ballot and do something about it. If you want change, do something. Just don't sit on there and complain on a Facebook or a Twitter, right? Go to these events. And I don't care if you're even on the other side of my aisle, at least we can have the discussion, talk about it, understand each other. And at the end of the day, we have different views, right?
Yeah. All right. Tim, hang on. I got to take a break. Talking to Representative Tim Beson. We come back, we'll talk a little bit about small business, of which he is an expert. And we will be back with more after these notes.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. He's sweeter than that.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why are you paying full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals right now from Salon Blue Day Spa and Boutique, 120 Fitness, Uplift Creative Center, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and more, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox.
An antitrust bill targeting Amazon, Google, and Apple gets support from the Department of Justice. The legislation introduced after a report stating that the number of tech companies, including Apple, were guilty of engaging in deeply disturbing anti-competitive behavior. It bans large digital platforms from favoring their own products and services over competitors. The Department of Justice arguing it would enhance its ability to challenge anti-competitive behavior. Now, backing from the department could increase the bill's chances of being passed. United Health Group is making a deeper push into home health care by acquiring LHC. And LHC Group shareholders would still need to approve the deal. Home health firms provide medical care to elderly and other people at their homes. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Run, Walk, Honor. The Tunnel to Towers 5K Run and Walk in New York City retraces FDNY firefighter Stephen Siller's final footsteps on 9/11. That single event has inspired more than 70 runs, walks, and climbs in different cities across the nation each year. Register for an event in your area or volunteer to start one. Do good and never getting $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
At Tuba Towels, we started with the toughest messes and quickly realized Tuba Towels heavy-duty cleaning wipes can clean just about anything, like stubborn brake dust, spilled paint, even permanent marker. There are dozens of uses. Proudly made in the USA with over 35,000 five-star reviews. Find Tuba Towels heavy-duty cleaning wipes at your local auto parts store, the Home Depot, Lowe's, and more. Look for the big yellow tub.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
My sweet cheeks feeling squeaky clean when Charmin's rolling behind the scenes. Charmin TP gives me those cheeky clean feels. That ultra strong hype is all for reals. Those TP rolls got me a Charmin clean tuckers. Cheek to cheek feeling oh so shook it.
Just cleans better. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the midnight.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW.
To the fence, it's gone! A home run! Robbie Gravers the win! The countdown is on. 10 days until opening day. The Tigers play on WSGW.
And we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, and my guest, Representative Tim Beson, State Representative. Tim, I know from talking to you before, you had to make a difficult decision in closing down your business, and you'd been in it for a long time. Small business, though, really is the backbone of the economy, isn't it?
Yeah. So these, like my small business, or a lot of these they're their starter jobs that we are so lacking, right? Because I hire kids from 14 on, right, to 99. So you still have a spot in my relatives. But the idea is I have to figure out a new way, and I will, to figure out a new way to make so that my business continues on, but not with the current situations. And all these little jobs, I mean, these kids, young people are looking for jobs, for their first job, and these businesses are shutting down, and we don't have anything in place. So what keeps these young people busy, right? So I'm really worried about, we're trying to figure out a way to make all these jobs with less people, but it also then takes away from the learning experience of our state.
So business closings, can we blame it on the pandemic, or was this coming anyway?
Well, the pandemic sped it up. It sped it up to the point where businesses that it can shift to the internet quickly for their sales of items, and there's a lot of different can start selling. And as I'm shutting down my business, I'm working with other organizations, because the licenses that I have, they're stuck with me. They're not allowed to transfer in our state, and that's something that I'm working on. And as a business like mine shuts down, I'm not. At first, I was upset and angry, but now I realize that if I try to reopen a business that's going to continue to struggle, that's not beneficial neither to our state. I got to open up a business that's going to thrive, right? So if my business has to shut down, there's a lot like it that are going to continue to shut down, and we provide a service which everybody else does too, but we even provide that specialty service like, hey, go to that local store. So I got to figure out a way to help them.
Is anything happening in the legislature that would move in that direction?
So I'm always working on trying to find all kinds of, there was actually a afflicted business plan that came out after it was vetoed like 8 months ago from me. But it came out to help, but it was almost to the point where it was so difficult to try to apply and understand if you got it. That doesn't really help making it so it's so difficult to apply. And this goes for a lot of businesses. There's a lot of grants and help out there, but they make it so tough. There's not a fast track. So I continue to work with Laura and ask them, hey, how can we make it easier? Because I know what they're talking about when businesses say, well, you just can easily go on there and find how to apply or how to get your license renewal. It's pretty astonishing to see all the different steps I have to do to redo a food establishment license. It's something.
Yeah.
And I think that by opening up these buildings, yep.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish.
Go ahead.
Well,
by opening up these SOS and the Secretary of State and opening up these buildings where I can walk in and get the help, because waiting on the phone and trying to deal with somebody over the internet, that as it sounds great and it looks good and costs, the problem is it doesn't generate what you need, right? To have people like feel even like, hey, I want to help this young couple. I want to help these people get a business, right? When you go into that face-to-face, you build that relationship, and that's what we're missing. And I hope that we bring it back 100% across our state.
The other thing that's needed for small business is customers, obviously, and with the state losing jobs to other states, people leaving the state rather than coming into the state. I know Senator Horn is leading the charge to make Michigan more competitive to business so that they want to locate here. Have you been following that? And is it realistic to think that the state of Michigan can compete with places like Tennessee, where they practically give it away to the business?
Well, and that's something to be said. Tennessee did a great job, right? They kind of got out in front of us. They're figuring out what is needed, and they're drawing people there. And once again, that also comes down to maybe Tennessee gets in a room and all gets together, and we work together. And I really do believe we have a lot of great people here in Lansing. Well, now I'm in Bay City where it's really cold, but when I'm working in Lansing, there's a lot of great people that want to see Michigan win. But you have to listen to all of us. You just can't do it with a select few. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So that has to change. We got to make so that, like when I make when I try to do a new bill or a law or anything that I'm trying to do in Lansing, it's not just for Bay City. It's so that it brings it back for everybody that has that same kind of business, that all get help, and not actually direct it to individual carve outs for certain areas. I have a big problem with that because that does help one area, but that doesn't help our state, right? Like we're targeting little areas instead of the whole state.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about the cost of doing business today, because obviously fuel prices affect everything. The goods and services that are delivered by truck, the automobiles that are used in business every day, and of course, private automobiles that we all have, and we all go to the gas station and see the same thing. I know there was an effort to eliminate the state gas tax. The governor vetoed it. She wants the feds to reduce their gas tax. Where are we with that? Is it going to come back to the forefront again?
Well, I mean, I did think a couple states actually did pass to get rid of their gas tax. But once again, if we had that money coming from the federal, I do believe, why do we keep looking to the federal when we can do things here in our state, right? I mean, we can hope that it builds up, right? And this is what I'm saying. Like, once again, I would hope that we could take a break from the state and the federal, and maybe our sales tax. At least just we have the money sitting there. Let the people that are working in our state. It's a great example. What you just said. Tennessee, some of these other states are doing it right. They're not inventing the wheel. They just got a great tread on the wheel, and we're kind of just spinning in the mud. And that's a problem. We need to start getting traction to move forward. And And you can't do the same thing that we've always done, Art, and expect different. We are losing businesses. We're losing population. Just look at these other states that are taking it from us. All we have to do is like open up our eyes and understand that it's in front of us. We just got to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let me ask you this. Redistricting, the Redistricting Commission has put out their maps. How does your district change, or does it?
Well, at least my district now changes from the census that at least that I will be able to be representing more than 70,000 people like you're supposed to, is like 90,000. I got elected to office with only less than 70,000 people that could vote in my election, which means that I get to pick up some more voters, that I get to go out and meet more people. And I love that, because that's when you go out and do that and you get to hear from different areas, then that's their concern. So that's your concern. So I'm excited. It just moved it north. It gives me a little more of Bay County because our city continues to decrease in population, as it moves out to they're still here in Bay County. They just moved out of the city.
So you just pick up a little to the north then?
Correct. A couple more to the north, which will bring me back up to 90,000 people I get to represent down in Lansing. So there's some more need northern Bay County I get.
Well, Tim, listen, as always, good to talk to you. And I'll leave you with the last word. Anything you want to get in, you want to make sure we know about?
I really do like the great big huge, I know it sounds crazy, but the infrastructure supplement, because everything in there that our local cities and townships and all across the state hopefully will give us some set up for the future. And the cost was, it hurt my chest for the appropriation side of it, but I hope that when we get done with this, that it hurt my chest all night long before we talked about it. We were there till 10:30 at night, or almost 11, and we even talked about it afterwards in a little group. And that kind of money, I know it's coming from the federal government. That's still our money. Everybody doesn't seem to understand that. That's still our money that's paid. And everybody's like, well, get it because they'll give it back and spend it at least. And I got to tell you, that's still our money, whether it comes from the state or the federal, that we've all paid, especially businesses have paid in that tax to decide, And so when I hear that, it really bothers me, like the disconnect that federal money isn't our money. It is. It's what you paid in.
And will there be money for local streets and roads? Not the state trunks and not the federal, but the local streets.
Correct. And part of the MDOT, which is really cool, that we used 88, and I really like the fact that our Tom Albert and Phil Brown, they actually we did use 88 million of our general fund, 551 million of federal funds, which is pretty awesome. So that means that that's going to go back to our local, and that's because they keep taking it from our locals, and it's hard to get. So there is some money in there that made me really happy. Of course, the rest of the ticket bill was $4.7 billion. That didn't make me very happy at all. But it's really, I really like people that come to me in Lansing that ask for money that can actually leverage it against federal money instead of ask. It makes me feel a lot better because they're actually doing their homework and they figured out a way to make our dollars here in Michigan go a lot farther. Yeah.
All right, Tim. Well, listen, glad to talk to you, and we'll do it again down the road. Have yourself a great day.
Yep. Thank you. Enjoy the cold.
Thanks a lot, Tim. Bye-bye now. State Representative Tim Beson, we thank him for joining us here on the Art Lewis Show. We'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour. If you want to give us a buzz on something, let's talk.
Ship your mama down the road. It's the Gift Food and Craft Marketplace, brought to you by Ship Shawana on the Road. Coming to the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, Mount Pleasant, April 2nd through 3rd. Saturday 9 to 6, Sunday 10 to 5. We pay the first 100 people to shop every day with Shipsy Bucks. Hundreds of booths and thousands of products. It's one-stop shopping, all under one roof this weekend. Our Gift Food and Craft Show is brought to you by fresh baked bread, scrumptious soft pretzels, chocolates, homemade cookies, jewelry, crafts, handbags, home decor, yard decorations, vintage items, furniture, pet supplies, sports stuff, signs, man cave supplies, clothing and fashion, and more. Coming to the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, Mount Pleasant, April 2nd through 3rd. Saturday 9 to 6, Sunday 10 to 5. Free parking. Admission only $5 per adult. Children under 12 free. It's the Gift Food and Craft Show brought to you by Shipshawana on the Road. For a $1 off coupon, go to Ship. Also visit us on Facebook and Twitter.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we only need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an emo wearing sunglasses.
Limu, you're famous.
Liberty, 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 liberty. The CFOs that get it, get it. The CFOs that don't. Behold the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer. This isn't some bean counter. Today's CFO is critical to the strategy, growth, and profitability of the business. But in growing companies, there are two kinds of CFOs. One who's struggling to keep up with spreadsheets everywhere, manual processes, errors, and lack of visibility into the numbers. It takes weeks to close the books. And one who's on top of their game. Automated reports, inventory, e-commerce, and HR flow into the financial model seamlessly. Insights coming with the click of a button. This CFO uses NetSuite by Oracle with visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. NetSuite is everything you need to grow all in one place. That's why NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial system used by over 29,000 growing businesses. Like I said, the CFOs that get it, get it. The CFOs that don't. Head to netsuite.com/radar for a special one-of-a-kind financing offer. /radar. netsuite.com/radar.
If you have a small business, Staples has your sign.
Banners for my bakery?
Staples has your sign.
Oh, posters for my new pet store.
Floor decals for a pharmacy. Every day, Staples associates help every kind of small business create bold signs to make big impressions. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. This is your sign, so print it big at Staples. Ends 5/28. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia could trigger devastating inflation. Your highs. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold IRA through Birch Gold, the only company I trust for gold. Just text the word SECURE to 989898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. So text the word SECURE to 989898.
You are with WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
And we're back here on WSGW. Open phones for the remainder of the hour, and the number is 989-752-6111. That'll put you in touch with me from anywhere. And most companies don't charge you long distance and roaming anymore, so it's a free call. 989-752-6111. There's something happening in the political arena, and this has to do with the January 6th committee and Donald Trump. And I'm going to give you an overview of what I think will happen. It's a guess on my part. Nothing in concrete here, but it's just a guess. Yesterday, a judge found that the former president is more likely, the quote is, more likely than not, committed felony obstruction in an effort to overturn an election. This has to do with the withholding of documents from the January 6th committee, what those documents said, who wrote them, and what they ostensibly do. I'm going to tell you my view of the race in 2024, the presidential race. It is my opinion. And remember that word, it is just my opinion, that the left of the aisle will do anything to keep Donald Trump from running for president. They would love nothing more than to find, for example, felony obstruction and have him convicted of it so he could not run for president. I am convinced they will do anything they can to keep him out of the election for fear, from their standpoint, that he could win. And it is not beyond the realm of possibility that if Donald Trump chose to run for president of the United States again, and I'm not sure he will, he likes to keep his name in the news, and he's doing very well at that right now. But I am not sure that he will actually run again. He starts out with a fairly substantial, solid base of support. And the Democrats know that. They know that. And they also know that Joe Biden is vulnerable. And if he chooses to run again, nobody's going to stand up against him. He's going to be the candidate. He'll be the incumbent president running for a second term. But I think that the Democrats believe that he's vulnerable. And particularly vulnerable against Donald Trump. Now, I'm not convinced, and I've said this before, I am not convinced that Donald Trump is going to choose to run again. I'm not sure that's going to happen. I know he's making all the noises and he's doing the rallies and he's doing all of that stuff. Part of that is because he likes to be in the news. He's one of those individuals doesn't care what you're saying about him as long as you're talking about him. But again, I just, my gut feeling, and could be way off base, but it's my gut feeling that he's not going to run again. But as I started this conversation saying, I think the Democrats would like to put a nail in that so he can't run again and find some legal grounds to keep him out of office. Because I do believe they fear him. Time will tell. And there's a lot of people making noise about the presidency. Hillary Clinton has made noise about the presidency. Would she run against Joe Biden, for example, if he decides to run again? Would Hillary, because it probably would be her absolute last chance, would she run against the incumbent president in a primary? It's an interesting thought, and certainly would be an interesting spectacle. I mean, you already know it's going to be a spectacle on the Republican side. You can guarantee that. They're going to come out of the woodwork. Question is, what will the Democrats do? Particularly if they sense that Joe Biden is vulnerable. It'll be an interesting election cycle. And it's also going to be interesting to see what happens, 8 months down the road when we have the midterm elections. Going to be interesting too. I think it's reasonable to think that the Republicans will retake the House. The Senate side, even though it's only one seat, and it's reasonable to think they can turn one seat, there's a lot of infighting going on in the Republican Party and a lot of key senatorial races. And if they're not careful, they could self-destruct. So time will tell. Anyhow, just wanted to bring that up It happened yesterday, and it's not an indictment. There's no official charge against the president. It was all done in a hearing as to whether or not certain documents should be provided to the January 6th committee, and the judge ruled that they should. There were a whole bunch of documents. I think he withheld 10 or 11 of them, saying that they were privileged, but that a lot of the documents were not. And so he's ordered them turned over to the January 6th committee. We'll take a break, come back with more on the Art Lewis Show. If you got something you want to chat about, you can give us a call.
Annette Glenn shares the values of families in mid-Michigan. American Conservative Union ranked Annette's voting record 6th most conservative in the state house. We need Annette fighting for families in the state Senate. Paid for by Annette Glenn for state Senate.
Moments like making my kids my famous meatballs mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopause with HR-positive, HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax. Too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Who struggle with hunger. I am hungered in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerinAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
Online poll this week is a little bit later, no pun intended, since it's going to be about daylight saving time.
Oh yeah, right.
The WSW online poll, permanent time. So recently, the U.S. Senate passed the Sunshine Protection Act to make daylight saving time permanent. The legislation still must be approved by the House, signed into law by President Biden. If it happens, we no longer change time twice a year. Many support the idea of no more time changes, though not all are on board that it should be daylight saving time permanent. Some say it should be standard time permanent.
Yeah.
There's our poll question. What should be the permanent time in these United States? Should it be daylight saving time, meaning more dark in the morning and lighter later? Should it be standard time, meaning more earlier in the evening? Leave the time changes as they are right now, or you're not sure. Your chance to make your vote by going to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, and make your vote that way.
John, Dale, Gary, Debbie, are you listening?
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show,
Joe Biden says he never said the things that he said.
Maybe he didn't remember.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins, weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back here on WSGW, and Al is in Midland. Al, good morning.
I got to, one of these days I got to make up my sign and go over and cheer Charlie on when he's doing the show with the Outdoors, Mike Avery. Fellow. Yeah, I hear there's a crowd out there that carrying signs.
Absolutely. Mike will tell you that. Yeah, Mike will tell you that. Right. Absolutely.
I got to do that. Hey, this may surprise you. I agree with you. The left and the Democrats they're scared. They're scared of Trump and his support. But Biden, he's not really, he's seen as kind of inept and mishandling things. And I don't blame him for what he said about trying to get Putin out. It's just that when you draw a line in the sand like that, how do you accomplish that? That's the problem.
Well, the problem with the statement, in a way, when he said it, I'm going, yeah, you're probably right. He needs to go. But it has never been, nor should it be, the policy of the United States to remove a leader by assassination or what have you.
Right.
In times of conflict, we removed Saddam Hussein. Well, that was a whole different story, and so forth. But it has never been the policy of this country to espouse the removal of a sitting leader by any other means than democratic. And even Maduro in Venezuela, while we supported the opposition guy, nobody said Maduro ought to be shot, and get him out of office.
And it's very hard to do that because you look at what it did to get to get the people to rise up to do him in. Look how long it took. And Putin's got all kinds of security around him. So I don't look at that as happening. It's probably going to have to be the oligarchs and the money people are going to have to, and as long as they're able to shelter their money and do other things and sail away to other places, they aren't going to do anything to upset him because he's got so much power he could do them in too. So
yeah, but some of the oligarchs are living out of Russia right now and they don't have access to their own money. It's kind of funny in a way. But I think that the oligarchs would pressure him. I don't see anybody doing anything else.
I think they've got money stashed. Those people have so much money.
They do, but they can't get to it. The banks have all frozen it.
They can't get to some of their money.
Most of it. There's a guy. They interviewed a guy. There was a guy on I don't know, NBC News. I think they interviewed one of the oligarchs, and he cannot get cash. He can't get to his money.
Well,
I didn't feel sorry for him. He's got this huge mansion in London.
Right. He'll tell you that, Art, but he's not going to reveal if he has an alternate source somewhere because
maybe. Yeah,
shut that
maybe.
off. So
all right. Hey, look, Al, I got to interrupt because we're out of time. We'll
have a good day,
yep, you too. Take care. Bye-bye now. We'll be back to close out this hour.
This is Rachel from the Svrc Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront, Saginaw. Spring has sprung, and our small businesses are ready to serve you. Global flavors from Falafel Hut, Saigon Sandwich, and El Farolito, or American favorites from Honey Tasted Potatoes, Divine Taste of Chicago, and Macon Bacon. Sweet treats, anyone? With Delicious Sweets Bake Shop, Mini Donut Delight Factory, and Rebecca's Bakery. Retail therapy from Flowers by Roman, Bling and Jewelry, and a new business, we welcome Thrive Creative Innovation. Burger and Barbecue now open. Come shop with us inside the Svrc Marketplace. Open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Need a rental space? Check out the Marketplace. Events are coming up. May 14th, join us for our Makers Market. All small businesses welcome. And stomp out stigma with our Westland Guidance Clinic. So much to do inside the Svrc Marketplace. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, support small business, and we will see you at the market.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Style Encore. You are going to get a $40 gift certificate for only $20. At Style Encore, they buy and sell gently used women's casual and business clothing, shoes, handbags, and accessories. And they have all of the hottest name brands at up to 90% less than regular retail. Do yourself a favor and head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. /trial.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
And that'll do it for this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. Coming up next hour, we're going to talk to Midland City Mayor Maureen Donker. She had delivered the State of the City address. We'll talk about that with her. All that coming up after the news, which is next here on WSGW.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Hello.
Turkey's foreign minister welcoming Ukrainian and Russian diplomats to talks in Istanbul today. They may have produced a breakthrough in the war. Russia's defense ministry says it will scale back military activities around Kyiv and Kharkiv to pave the way for dialogue. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres.
An immediate humanitarian ceasefire since serious political negotiations aiming at reaching a peace agreement based on the principles of the United Nations Charter.
Ukrainian troops had already reported regaining control of the Kyiv suburb of Irpin. Colonel General Alexander Svrc is the top military commander in the capital.
We defend our motherland because we have very high moral and because we want to win.
President Biden calling leaders of France, Germany, Italy, and the UK to discuss news of progress in talks between Russia and Ukraine. The ruble has surged more than 10% against the dollar. CBS News and the Washington Post have obtained records showing almost 8 hours of missing information from the White House the day of the January 6th attack. Correspondent Robert Costa.
They show for the first time a detailed and official account of Trump's phone calls and behind-the-scenes activities that day. They also notably contain a gap in the official. Something is missing.
Congressional investigators believe the Trump team may have used disposable phones to hide communications. The former president has issued a statement saying he assumed all records were being preserved. There's more severe weather in the forecast for parts of the southeast and mid-Atlantic states. CBS's Jim Kursula.
The National Weather Service says some 26 million people could see strong storms today from Texas to Iowa. There's a 4 out of 5 chance of severe storms, including tornadoes tomorrow. Across much of Louisiana and Mississippi, areas of the southeast and mid-Atlantic could see severe weather Thursday.
The Academy of Arts and Sciences has begun a formal review of the slap heard round the world.
Oh, wow!
Will Smith has posted an apology to Chris Rock after he slapped him in the face on stage at the Oscars over a joke poking fun at Smith's wife Jada and her alopecia. Want your kid to become a good reader? CBS's Laura Podesta says sleep breaks.
From Australia and the UK say naps help preschool-aged children better. Researchers say that recall of knowledge help children who nap sound out and read unfamiliar words.
The Dow is up 269 points. This is CBS News.
Hire with minimal effort and maximum success with Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier and empower your retirement. They talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for fire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
If you came across someone struggling with recognize them, would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hungered in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungeredInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 26 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Lynn Williams. A Bay City woman has announced her candidacy for Michigan's 35th State Senate District, representing residents in Midland, Bay City, and Saginaw. Democrat Kristen McDonald-Rivet serves as vice president of Michigan Future and is a strategic to the Michigan Health Improvement Alliance and Thrive. She's the former CEO and president of Greater Midland Incorporated. McDonald-Rivet has recently called on the Michigan legislature to provide more relief funds to victims of the 2020 flooding in Sanford and Midland, saying critical federal dollars need to be freed up to provide additional assistance to families which continue to be impacted by the disaster. McDonald-Rivet will face the Republican nominee in the November 8th election, which is currently a three-way race between State Representative Annette Glenn, former Republican State Representative Tim Kelly, and small business owner Chris Velasquez. State Attorney General Dana Nessel was in Saginaw yesterday touring a substance abuse center in advance of Michigan receiving its share of a $26 billion federal opioid settlement. Caring Center to learn more about the medication assistance treatment program, which she says other communities can learn from. The program, in part, helps individuals with substance abuse disorder transition back into society and helps them with ways of staying sober.
Morning, Mayor.
Michigan will receive $776 million from the settlement with Cardinal
Can you hear me?
and
Barely,
Amerisource
hang on.
Bergen plus Johnson
Try
&
it again.
Johnson. At least 269 communities.
I'm like listening to the news. I don't know how to turn that off.
Payments.
Let me see.
WSGW News time is 10:07.
All right.
Spring is right around the corner.
Yeah, I've got
now
you.
is the time to look around and plan those home renovations you've been waiting
Be
for.
with you in a few
Hi,
minutes.
this is
I turned the
Marianne
video
from
off
Gordon
when we're
Interiors
not
in
on.
Frankenmuth. Let our
You look
design
fine.
team help you get
Okay,
your home
good.
ready for spring. We are
We'll be
excited
back.
to celebrate our
Sounds
60th
good.
anniversary and want you to celebrate with us. Come treatments and more. Do it yourself or get quality professional installation from our very own installers. Stop into our showroom on North Main Street in Frankenmuth. Gordon Interiors celebrating 60 years. We'll help you bring it all together.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why are you paying full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals right now from Salon Blue Day Spa and Boutique, 120 Fitness, Uplift Creative Center, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and more, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah,
It's true, and it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
WSGW News Time is 10:08. When it comes to the state's ongoing labor shortage at the moment, there's no light at the end of the tunnel, so says Brian Calley, the president and CEO of the Small Business Association of Michigan. Speaking to the State of Small Business, Calley said supply chain issues remain major factors in running a successful small business.
To me, that pushes us right back to this discussion on small business and why it's important to not have all your eggs in one basket, and why it's important to think local, why it's important to make sure that you're buying and selling in places that are close, more predictable, and less vulnerable to changes and things that are way outside of our control across the globe.
Despite the bleak outlook, Calley says the entrepreneurial spirit in Michigan is burning stronger than ever. Northwood University is taking nominations for its 53rd Distinguished Women Awards, which recognizes the contributions that women make in our global society. The university says honorees serve as role models for Northwood students as ambassadors for the university. Since its inception in 1970, the program has honored over 500 women while also raising money for student scholarships. If you know of a woman who is an impactful leader in high industry, who supports the Northwood idea of free enterprise, personal responsibility, and freedom, and who can inspire and motivate Northwood students, you can nominate her on the online nomination form. For more information and to see past honorees, visit the Northwood University website. This year's event is scheduled for October 14th and 15th. The deadline to apply for growing MI business grants is fast approaching. Here's more from Brooke Allen at the Michigan News Network.
The Growing MI Business Grant Program, set up by the state of Michigan to distribute up to $409 million of its American Rescue Plan Act. Under the grant program, eligible businesses in operation before October 1st, 2019, may receive a grant up to $5 million to hire additional staff to fill open positions, renovate or expand their business, or improve operations. Eligible businesses that began operating between October 1st of 2019 and May 31st of 2020 may receive a grant equal to 25%. Criteria can be found on the Growing MI Business Grant Program website. The application deadline is Thursday, March 31st.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. A winter weather advisory will go into effect here late tonight. We'll see mostly sunny skies here for today with a high around 40 degrees. Southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tonight, a chance for some snow showers and a chance for snow, freezing rain, and sleet mixing here late. Cloudy skies, a low near 29. By Wednesday, a chance for freezing rain early, then changing to rain. Cloudy skies, high 55 degrees. Then on Thursday, a slight chance for rain showers, cloudy, high 51. Friday, partial sunshine develops, a high 41. Saturday, partly sunny, high 47. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. 6.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, the Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you, and welcome to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Nice to have you with us as I broadcast today from my Saginaw Spirit home studio, brought to you by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. Give her a call at 989-295-7713. Have Linda go to work for you for all of your residential and commercial real estate needs. And for this hour, for the beginning part of this hour anyway, we are pleased to welcome to the program the mayor of the city of Midland. We say good morning to Mayor Maureen Donker. Madam Mayor, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. It's nice to be here today.
Glad to have you with us. Thanks for joining us. You recently gave the State of the City address, so we'll talk a little bit about that this morning. And I want to start with probably the thing that's on a lot of people's minds over the last couple of years. How is the city doing recovering from the flood?
I think, it's still a day at a time here. We have had certainly the flood in conjunction with the pandemic has been, very impactful on everyone in our community. And I would say that one of the things we definitely have been really working hard to get everyone, through this. So within the city, we're, making, we're trying to address some of the issues that we have. And then certainly outside, in the broader Midland County area, there's lots of issues there. So we have a wonderful United Way that's leading up the recovery work with folks. And I think they're doing a fabulous job with that. And, we're working on some infrastructure stuff.
Well, let's take a look at let's separate the two things, recovery and prevention.
Sure.
Let's look at recovery. What's left to do in the city to bring it back to whole? What projects are still out there?
Well, we have what's called a Concept Fives plan as it relates to what it is we need to do to address, issues as it relates to flooding. And that's certainly, huge for us. It's really about system conveyance and the systems that, that we have. So, we're looking at things like installing new sewer lines, rehabilitating manhole, and improving piping systems to better convey flows if we're talking about sewers. And that's really critical to certain areas of our community that had some very serious backup. So, we're working on that.
Are there still physical structures that need rehabilitating?
Well, certainly at the city, we had $7 million worth of damage at the city itself. Our library was affected, our golf course, and Riverside, which is a senior housing unit. So at downtown at Riverside, we're finishing up the lower levels so folks can move back in. The library, hopefully they'll be reopening in June. They'll be celebrating their grand reopening. They've had some setbacks, which has been, very hard. We were hoping that maybe this month they would be able to open, but then we can't get shelving units, so we have to wait for that. So in June, we'll have a grand reopening with the library, which is a very, that's one of our community gems for sure. And I would say that the staff at the library have been really fabulous because they have pivoted to make sure that, students who need their services throughout the school year, that they've been able to provide that, even though they hadn't been open for quite a while. So the grand reopening will hopefully take place in June in conjunction with their summer reading program. And then our golf course, the West course, the clubhouse, that will be fully operational, in time for golf season at the city.
So let's look at the other side of it, prevention. Now, obviously, I don't think there could have been anything in place to prevent what happened when the two dams collapsed. But in terms of normal times and normal flooding, is there work being done to try and alleviate the potential flooding down the road?
Yeah, we have a very active group, which is being led through the Midland Business Alliance. And they've brought a group together where they're working with the Corps of Engineers to look at what it is we can do to prevent future flooding issues. So that is some really important work that's going on in our community, because at the end of the day, we have three rivers that meet down at our beautiful little Tridge. And so we have to look at what is it, how can we creatively begin to address some of that, because we are in a valley. We're in a valley and water's coming this way, but are there things that we can do to help alleviate some of the flooding issues that we experienced definitely in 2017, because we didn't have just the 2020 flood. We also had 2017 flood. So there's a lot of work that, we've had to do. So, that work is coming together, and that's been a wonderful community collaboration.
And you mentioned the Tridge in that area down there. Go back to the physical structures for a moment. Is there work being done on that structure down where the farmers market was to rehabilitate that?
And that we have not, I'm trying to think. It's been 2 or 3 years since we've used that for our farmers market. So the structure itself does need work. and the farmers market has moved from that area. It's now by the Loons Stadium. So we are looking at that. To be honest with you, Art, I'm not sure quite how we'll be moving forward with that, but that's also an iconic piece of art for our community. It's an Alden Dow structure, and that it's not going to be inexpensive to help put that back together. So we'll see.
So it's not going to go away. The question is, when does it get restored?
Well, yeah, I think that yes, and is it now that the farmers market's been moved someplace else, is that something that we should do? I think there's going to be lots of conversations about that, but that is a very important part of our community, and we'll be very everyone will be very thoughtful around that.
Let me ask about ARPA money. How much did the city get?
$5.3 million.
And how much have you spent?
We have made suggestions for $1.3 million of that money. And we, so it gives us about $4 million, left. And we definitely will be very thoughtful moving forward with that, because we want to make sure that it has, impact on the community.
So the 1.3 that was suggested, has it been approved and sent on or not?
We're not, it has been recommended. We have a budgeting process that, that'll be April, and we'll take a look at, all of that, during our April, budgeting time.
Let's talk about downtown.
Yeah.
It's a little gem in our region. I mean, it really is. It's a special kind of place. Is there expansion going to go on down there?
Well, we have some building going on down there. We have a new office building that's going in. That's a Shaheen development. And that's really very nice, to see that. So we've been doing a lot downtown. There's been some wonderful public-private partnerships that have gone on downtown. We've completely redone, the roads, the streetscape. That was about $65 million investment of, again, a public-private investment. So we now have, we have beautiful sitting areas. We had this past summer, we've had, the commons area and a place, for gathering, which was, very well used in the summer. So, we're hoping to see more building down there. We just had a recent opening a week ago of, it's called Three Bridges Distillery. And so that's opened up down there. So, a downtown is a community's front porch. It is what, people come to see. So yeah, we're hoping for more growth down there, and we're working on that.
Will there be street closures this summer for the restaurants?
Yes. Yeah. That's called our commons area. Yes. It's called, it's pedestrian plazas in the commons area. So that will, be again closed in, this summer, because it was very well received by the public.
All right, Mayor, hang on. I have to take a quick break. We'll come back and talk a little more. We're talking to Midland Mayor Maureen Donker, and we will be back to talk more about the state of the city when we return.
Annette Glenn pledged she'd fight to cut car insurance costs. She pushed legislation giving drivers more choice, reducing premiums. Coming soon, a $400 refund check per vehicle. Annette Glenn got the job done. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
Jackson Hewitt needs you to know 3 things about filing taxes this year. 1, there are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table. 2, you have to file for them to make sure you get the right amount. 3, a Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro will help track down every credit you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, going to school, and so much more. You don't want to miss out on thousands. Jackson Hewitt knows that. Discover thousands in tax credits and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more at jacksonhewitt.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Home price growth accelerated in January, according to the Case-Shiller Index. It rose 19.2% as inventory of homes for sale fell to a new low. Home prices rose at a record pace in 2021 and have continued to climb this year as Buying demand strongly outpaces the supply of homes for sale. Another global sports personality enters the crypto world. Soccer star Lionel Messi has signed an agreement worth more than $20 million to promote digital fan token company Socios.com. This according to a source talking to Reuters. United Health Group is making a deeper push into home health care by acquiring LHC Group. Regulators and LHC Group shareholders would still need to approve the deal. Home health firms provide medical care to elderly and other people at their homes. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Are we about to see the end of On March 9th, Biden signed an executive order for digital money piggybacking off Senate Bill 3571, the Digital Dollar Banking for All Act. The media says it's the ultimate financial censorship tool and a tool for government surveillance of citizens and control over their financial transactions. Protect your savings from Democrats. Get Monetary Gold's free protection guide. Call 888-201-7262. 888-201-7262. 888-201-7262. Paid for by Monetary Gold.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now 800-600-2020. 800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show,
Joe Biden says he never said the things that he said.
Maybe he didn't remember.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show for this Tuesday morning, and we are talking to Midland Mayor Maureen Donker. Maureen, it's probably an obvious question with an obvious answer, but what do the Dows, DuPonts, Cortevas, Mid-Michigan Health mean to the city of Midland?
Oh, they mean God, they mean a lot to us. They mean a lot to us. Certainly, that's our base of industry. The hospital is our largest employer. And we have a more diverse industry base now. We have Dow, we have DuPont, we have Corteva, we have International Flavors and Fragrances, we have Cabot Corporation. So we have a very, I would call it a robust manufacturing community in Midland, and that's very important. It means jobs. It means, I think it speaks to our future.
So how's given that, how's the financial health of the city of Midland?
Well, I would say that we have a balanced budget. We have, some savings. I think that we work very hard to be, to be a stable, forward thinking, city of Midland. We have a great staff, great team that works very hard.
Speaking of staff, any problems finding staff like
Yes.
the rest of the world?
Yes, like it is. It's a worldwide problem right now. We do have a hard time, finding staff, and we have, we've been very, I would call us a very frugal organization. So certainly, when you think back a few years back to 2009, that was a really different time. And we made some cuts where I think now we need to be, filling in some positions to better serve the community. So we will be looking for those. But yes, that's tough for everyone. And we have people who are going to be retiring, and they are, those are going to be big shoes to fill.
It's a difficult time for that, isn't it? It really
It
is. It's hard to find good.
Yeah, we do have a group. We're working on a Baldrige designation. It's called Communities of Excellence. And so we're working with some communities across the country, to just enhance how we do our work. And so one of the things we are looking at is as a project is retention and attraction of talent. And so we have a group that's really focusing on that.
During your state of the city, you talked about new investment in Midland from Dow and others. Give us an idea of what's happening along the investment lines.
Yeah, so Dow, which is going to be celebrating its 150th anniversary this coming May, which is, really very exciting. And I always wonder when I think about things like that is, did Mr. Dow know that he'd have that kind of impact on our community when he started that little company all those years ago? I don't know, but it certainly had an impact on us. And they announced earlier this year that they would be expanding and redoing their R&D facilities, and this is a $100 million investment in the community. That's huge. Our health system, My Michigan Health, will be breaking ground soon on a new cancer center, and that's I think a over $60 million investment there. That is huge. And then we have some other organizations that are going to be expanding our community center. That's more than 100 years. It's been a place that served a lot of people. It's going to be rebuilding, and they hope to break ground this summer. And the Center for the Arts, it's celebrated its 50th anniversary its 50th anniversary was last year. I think they're going to celebrate it this year because of course the COVID restrictions. And it is looking at, it was really impacted by the floods. And so not just rebuilding, but how can they also, enhance what they have? So I think that's a lot of growth, a lot of new things for our community. We're looking forward to that.
You sound like you believe, and I'm sure you do, it's a good time to be a Midlander.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. I have some really strong feelings about that because I did grow up here. And I think that, I have friends who live in places like Chicago. And when I go and I visit them, you go and you participate in something. And what I love about Midland and this region is you can make things happen here. You can be a part of it. And it's this opportunity to give back and build something, not just for ourselves today, but for the future. And I think that's really meaningful.
It's interesting you say that. I grew up in New York City, but my dad always told me, wherever you live, don't just live there, be a part of the community. And of course, I'm sitting around looking at the Bronx going, how do I do that? Yeah. But when my wife and I moved here in the 70s, it became apparent. There is something about mid and small town America that's really refreshing because you can be a part of it and you can have influence in it.
You can. Yes. And I think that, I think that's part of our culture. And, so here's how, when I think about Mr. Dow himself, he came at a very transitional time in Midland's history because the logging industry was really just, was ending. They had harvested all the trees. What's next? And he came and he started this company. And as that company was growing, the people that came to work there, they just weren't just building a company. They were also creating the community in which they wanted to live. And I think that has really had a huge impact on us as a community about how we work together and the importance of collaboration. And I think that organization has had more impact than just being a chemical company for sure.
Well, and I think that's even more so today. I mean, with the leadership of Jim Fitterling,
right?
He's a special individual.
Yeah, yes,
truly is.
We do have a lot of special. I'm biased. I have to be honest with you. I'm biased that I think there's a lot of special people here that work, really hard. Our United Way. So by United Way standards, it's a small United Way. By per capita giving, we're second only to West Palm Beach, Florida. Now, I think that says a lot about the people who live here in Midland who care about others. So I think the community itself is just a very caring, group of people.
So what got a young lady in Midland interested in politics?
Okay, so I don't consider myself a politician. I should tell you that.
Okay.
I don't. So I grew up here. We lived on a farm actually on Carter Road, which would be, in Bay County, and we moved to Midland when I was 4. So I'm basically, I was born and raised here. I'll be honest when I say I didn't think that I would live here like most, college kids. You're going to go off to some big city. But I came back here, and it was, again, it was that realization for me that you can have an impact on someplace. So my parents taught us about the importance of giving back. And so I've been involved in lots of boards. And when my husband had been the prosecutor at one time. And so, I really had never thought about being on city council. But he then was not working in Midland, and he was working in Lansing. And I just thought, well, I run a nonprofit. I run an organization that provides housing for individuals with special needs, disabilities. And I think those are some of our most vulnerable citizens. And I also had the opportunity to facilitate Dow and Dow Corning's community advisory panels. And I understood the importance of business. And I thought, if we have a vibrant business, community, the nonprofit and the people who don't, my nonprofit will be successful. And so I thought, I'm going to just run for city council. I did not ever think I would be the mayor. That was not my goal. My goal was just to find another way to help serve my community.
And then you became mayor.
And then I became
Any regrets?
No. I mean, I think that I get to see the best of our community. And we have a wonderful team, both at the city and the county. And I'm telling you, folks who run businesses and organizations here, we're blessed. We're blessed.
Well, they're lucky to have you.
Oh, thanks.
You're an eloquent spokesperson for that community.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Mayor, I want to thank you for spending the time with us this morning, and we'll have to do it again down the road. It's always a pleasure.
Okay, thank you. I look forward to seeing you again.
Have a great day.
Okay, you too. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Art. Bye.
Mayor Maureen Donker, Mayor of the City of Midland. We thank her for her time this morning. And we're going to move on to an open format now for the remainder of the hour. You can give us a call, whatever you want to chat about, at 989-752-6111. And we'll be back after these notes.
This is Rachel from the Svrc Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront Saginaw. Spring has sprung, and our small businesses are ready to serve you. Global flavors from Falafel Hut, Saigon Sandwich, and El Palito, or American favorites from Honey Tasted Potatoes, Divine Taste of Chicago, and Macon Bacon. Sweet treats, anyone? With Delicious Sweets Bake Shop, Mini Donut Delight Factory, and Rebecca's Bakery. Retail therapy from Flowers by Roman, Bling and Jewelry, and a new business, we welcome Thrive Creative Innovations. Did you know Big O Burger and Barbecue now open? Come shop with us inside the Svrc Marketplace, open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Need a rental space? Check out the Marketplace. Events are coming up. May 14th, join us for our Makers Market. All small businesses welcome. And stomp out stigma with our Westland Guidance Clinic. So much to do inside the Svrc Marketplace. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, support small business, and we will see you at the market.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyship.org.
How do you make the most of your mow? Tony and Melissa do it on a John Deere Z530M Z-Track mower.
Jump out of the house, a cup of coffee, and I'm at work.
You're riding around, it's like going on a go-kart. And for Rodney, he uses his John Deere X350 lawn tractor to turn his yard into
a happy place. It's a great place to do Tai Chi. I work on my mind, body, and well-being.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your mow. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Economists are warning that sanctions are devastating inflation, worse than the current 40-year highs. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold IRA through Birch Gold, the only company I trust for gold. Just text the word SECURE to 989898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. So text the word secure to 989898.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Now, a WSGW Morning Team Show memorable moment.
President's Day, Hail to the Chief, the recognized presidential song, if you will. You know, the introductory when the president comes into the room. Did you know the words? The official words to Hail to the Chief, just so you know. Hail to the Chief, we have chosen for the nation. Hail to the Chief, we salute him one and all. Hail to the Chief as we pledge cooperation. Sorry. In proud fulfillment of a great and noble call. Yours is the aim to make this grand country grander. This you will do. That's our strong, firm belief. Hail to the one we select as commander. Hail to the president. Hail to the chief. Let's go back to that cooperation.
That's right.
Cooperation is always pledged, is it not? I mean, generally you always hear, well, got to work together, got to be together.
Yeah, as long as you do it my way.
Now, whatever happens after the pledge happens, that's another story.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
Welcome back. Art Lewis Show. Open phones for the remainder of the hour. And Paul is with us to start us out. Paul in Saginaw, good morning.
Morning, Art. Are you enjoying all this global warming we're having today?
Oh, loving it, yes. I haven't been outside yet, but I can see it out my window.
All right. I'm calling because yesterday on the National News Desk, they reported that is ordering all of his customers to pay in rubles for his oil and gas rare earth. And they must be doing it because your station reported today that the ruble is up 10% over the dollar. Do you think this is a way for him to get around those economic sanctions?
Well, it's an attempt. It's an attempt, and he doesn't want the U.S. He wants his ruble to get stronger, so it's an attempt.
Right. And then he doesn't have to convert dollars or any other.
Well, no, obviously he gets his own currency. That's why he wants it that way.
All right.
Because he knows on the marketplace his access to the dollar is very restricted right now.
Absolutely. And converting it to his currency will be very difficult for him right now. So I just wonder if this is going to make a difference.
Nah.
But
the ruble up 10%. The ruble up 10% versus the dollar, considering how far down it was, it's still got a long way to go.
Right. There's no doubt
It's
about
not worth
that.
10% more than the dollar. It's just up 10% in its value against the dollar. He's got a long way to go before he gets back to any kind of parity.
Right. Okay. Well, that's
But
all
the good news is, if it holds, is there apparently were Russian-Ukraine talks that actually look promising. Of course, it's interesting that he's making a big deal out of the fact, I'm going to pull back from Kyiv and I'm going to do all that. He's pulling back because he got stopped there. I mean, he's had to resort to the kind of aerial bombing you see with rockets, drones, and planes because his ground troops were ineffective. Ukrainians have put up
earth.
the Ukrainians put up a heck of a fight. I mean, they really and truly have put up a heck of a fight. So,
all right.
But I don't read much into him wanting rubles. He needs them. It's logical that he wants them. Just plain logical that he wants them. All right.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Okay.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Lines open for you at 989-752-6111 from wherever you are. Carriers, most of them don't charge you long distance and roaming. And we'd love to talk to you about whatever is on your mind. I am curious about something with the prices what they are at the grocery store. Has it changed the way you shop? Now, I suspect, obviously, there's going to be different answers from different people depending on your income level and what you would normally consume and buy at the store. So the question is, when you go to the store, you look at the prices, you know what you want to buy. Does it alter what you buy? Have you changed your house diet, so to speak? Food you serve your family, is it different today than it would have been before this inflationary trend took hold? Has it made you pull in the horns? Have you decided, maybe I don't need that little extra thing that I would normally buy? I think it's changed the eating habits of a lot of people. Has it impacted how often you go to a restaurant? Prices are up at the restaurants, and that's logical. They're paying more for their food just like you are. Their cost of food has gone up. Their cost of labor has gone up when they can find them. Everything has gone up. So how has it impacted your life on a day-to-day basis? What have you changed? Are you driving less because of it? What else has it altered in your life? Now obviously, if you got tons of money you don't know what to do with, it may not impact you at all. But for the average working stiff and the average retired person, this has had impact. You have inflation running at 7, 8, and higher %. It's going to have some impact on what we do and how we do it. Which is why, come election time, it is always the number one issue. Pocketbook issues drive elections. Yeah, I know there are some other issues out there that some people are loyal to, and they will only vote on those issues. Probably the leading one in that area is, the right to choose versus the no abortion argument. Abortion is probably the leading single issue voter issue that there is in terms of people making a decision on who to vote for based on that one issue. But it still doesn't come close in terms of percentages of voters who view it as the key issue. Inflation, the economy are always number one. And then there's a whole host of other issues, including abortion, that follow down the road. But none of them come close to inflation. So that the party in power is concerned when they see the kind of inflation we have. They may blame it on a lot of things. They may not want to take the blame themselves, but the reality is they're in power. They're going to get the blame. It's the way it works. Quick break. We'll get to John in Saginaw when we return here on the Art Lewis Show.
The will of a farmer is like no other. Strength of generations past, propelled by the hope of what lies ahead. Unpredictability cannot shake its resolve. It wears a coat of courage and commitment, boots made of love for the land. At BASF, we support you with tools for tomorrow. New chemistries, seed traits, and technologies. Because we know the world's future will be fed by the will of a farmer. BASF, helping you do the biggest job on Earth.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458, 800-481-1458, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive... Stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This.com is for Style Encore. You are going to get a $40 gift certificate for only $20. At Style Encore, they buy and sell gently used women's casual and business clothing, shoes, handbags, and accessories. And they have all of the hottest name brands at up to 90% less than regular retail. Do yourself a favor and head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
The Saginaw Spirit play here.
He got it into Minchikov, shoots and scores! Dalton Duhart! The Spirit with a 5-goal comeback. They win it 9-8.
Edition of Saginaw Spirit Hockey. Tonight, the Spirit take on the Sioux Greyhounds at the Dow Bench Center. Game time coverage begins at 6:50 p.m. on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. And plenty of good seats are still available tonight. Visit SaginawSpirit.com for ticket information.
Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on WSGW.
All right, back with you. Let's get back to our phones. We have John in Saginaw. John, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Arthur.
Morning.
This business, so far as the Academy Awards is concerned, you've been around long enough, like I have. It's fake, and it's a situation where they are not getting the viewership in most of the movies that they produce, and they're trying to get attention, which was what actors are hired to do.
Yes, that's true.
And it's unfortunate that the media runs with it as though it was a factual story. It's a fraud. But we have enough gullible people out there and enough media people who have nothing to do. And so this is promoted and pushed. The other thing that I like to make a comment about is advertisers who buy, you've probably never heard this before, too much advertising time. Somebody like Martin Hoke from Navage. I'd like to hook his Navage up to Martin Hoke and vacuum him out of existence.
Well, let me explain to you.
Whether you turn to WTAM in Cleveland or
exactly, I was going to say
he is just flooding the airwaves with his product. I don't know if he has filters or something that he sells on top of once you buy the machine, so he has a constant flow of income. But it becomes irritating to the point where I would never purchase his product, and I would never recommend his product.
Well, you have to understand too that it's national advertising. By that I mean it's not in our control. It comes in on the network feeds, or it comes in as network commercials that have to be played as an obligation to the contract. So it's beyond our control as to how much.
Well, Arthur, you know that the consultants tell them, keep pounding away.
Oh, absolutely.
More.
Of course.
They're going to believe it. Keep advertising. And that's what the consultants tell them, and they have for many years.
Well, yes, but you have to understand this, John. You have to understand this. You do not represent the majority. And let me explain why I say that. Because obviously that advertising works, otherwise it wouldn't be done. The advertising works or it wouldn't be done. That's the bottom line.
You have to defend your industry, and I understand that. But I think...
Well, I'm not defending my industry. I'm telling you a fact. The fact is they buy it because why do you think there are so many robocalls? There are so many robocalls because they work.
Let them get away with it. That's
no,
why.
they do it because it works. Because even if they get a 2% response, well, that could represent a lot of people. Ask any.
It's a sad commentary on our population.
That may be true.
If our people aren't wise enough to figure out what's being pulled off in front of them.
Well, that's why you have choice, isn't it? That's the way it is.
All right, that gets us back to the movie business. People who are what the viewership for the Oscars is down. The viewership for most movies is down. And so it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. I mean, Edison isn't around here to tell us that's a crummy movie, but I think as each new generation comes forward, they either are going to have to educate themselves or they're going to be stuck with what's in front of them.
Well,
that's now the internet is entered into the picture.
Yep, they may be perfectly happy with what's stuck in front of them. There you go. All right, John.
Look, if you give an idiot a sucker, he'll be happy.
Well,
right?
okay, but that's the way you view it. Not everybody does, Hey, I got to run, John. I want to get one more in here. Thanks.
Okay,
Take care.
Yeah,
all right. By the way, Oscar viewership was up this year. Maria. All right, John. Thank you, John. Maria in Saginaw is going to be our last caller. Maria, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Lewis.
Morning.
Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I just have a few comments. Thank you for having the interview with the mayor of Midland, because when I was listening to your introduction, the first thing I would have asked her is, how's downtown doing after the flood? And that's the first question you asked her. And so I got that information because downtown by the Tridge, they have the Chippewa River.
Right.
They have a really nice nature walks down there, and
Yep.
And you can see bluebirds and black squirrels and
all kinds of wonderful things.
Logs.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm glad that things are going well. And I just wanted to say one more thing about the prices. I noticed that a can of coffee went up $1 and the cat food went up $1, but I guess I'm grateful for that. It's fair because I understand what transportation costs and gas.
Yeah.
It costs more for the people that deliver it. So if they have to raise their prices, I'm okay with it, as long as, because I'm grateful that it's there. And
yep, gotcha.
and with all the cargo ships, I had all those
Yep.
containers on there. I'm hoping that they will get unloaded.
Me
Put
too.
more stuff back into the supply chain.
All right,
And
Maria, I
that-
have to interrupt because I'm out of time. But call again when
Okay,
we have
well-
more time. Love to chat with you.
Okay.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome. Bye-bye now. Let me ask you how your sleep was last night. We're asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed, you spend a third of your life there. Theoretically, you want to get a good night's sleep, and you can do it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent, and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress, and they feature 1-hour delivery window of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 989-753-1000. 1757. Sanitary mattress.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
Here's the deal. I've had constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating for years. I've tried a lot of laxatives and fiber supplements, but my symptoms keep coming back.
You could have a chronic condition called irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
All right, that's going to do it.
And Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
That's going to do it for the Art Lewis Show. By the way, Oscar viewership, yes, it was up this year, but up from the most dismal year, 2021. This year's was the second lowest viewership at 15.4. Rocket Grab Plus will be on Focus.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. There's breaking news from Washington. The Food and Drug Administration has just authorized another booster dose of the Pfizer or Moderna COVID vaccines for people who are 50 and older, months after the initial booster shot. NATO's Supreme Commander General Todd Walters before Congress this morning about the war in Ukraine.
This is a pivotal moment in Europe with generational implications.
And there is word of progress at peace talks in Turkey, and Russia says it has scaled back military operations in and around Kyiv. CBS's Holly Williams is west of the capital.
One of Russia's key demands is Ukrainian neutrality. Recently, Ukraine has said that it's open to discussing that. However, Ukraine also has a demand that there will be security guarantees. That is, guarantors, like, for instance, the U.S., who are obliged to step in if Ukraine is attacked. So the would not join NATO, but it would still have these security guarantees in place.
CBS News and the Washington Post have obtained White House records from the day the Capitol was attacked, and there's a 7.5-hour gap in entries in President Trump's call log and daily diary. CBS's Robert Costa.
The logs do show several incoming and outgoing calls on the morning of January 6th, including from Rudy Giuliani and former President Trump's chief strategist, Steve Bannon. Trump spoke with Bannon, who sources say told him to call Vice President Mike Pence and urge him to block certification of the election. Trump later did phone Pence, failing, but that call is not listed in the records. There is a listing of the president talked on a phone call to an unidentified person.
Well, stormy weather's on tap for the nation's midsection. Jim Cantori of the Weather Channel is tracking it.
We get started tonight, Dallas, Oklahoma City. You're in this. We may see thunderstorms a little farther north with this outbreak. So we're talking about Des Moines, maybe even Kansas City. The whole line just keeps on going as we work our way into Wednesday.
Well, overseas, Britain's Queen Elizabeth has attended a memorial service for her late husband, Prince Philip.
Royal fanfare for an increasingly rare royal appearance. The Queen in a green suit and high door of Westminster Abbey, a shorter walk for a 95 increasing mobility issues. Hearing her late husband, Prince Philip, praised as a man who put privilege to work, understanding his rank as a spur to service. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
And on Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 251 points. The S&P 500 is up 33. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, managing your medications from home is simple. With our easy-to-use prescription drug plans, you can get the medicine your doctor prescribes from your local pharmacy or even delivered by mail. For the trusted care you need and want, Blue Cross will be here with more convenient ways of getting it. Like we've been for more than 80 years. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senior options.
At Tuba Towels, we started with the toughest messes and quickly realized Tuba Towels heavy-duty cleaning anything, like stubborn brake dust, spilled paint, even permanent marker. There's literally thousands of uses. Proudly made in the USA with over 35,000 five-star reviews. Find Tuba Towels heavy-duty cleaning wipes at your local auto parts store, the Home Depot, Lowe's, and more. Look for the big yellow tub.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on. Heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding Live
from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
It's 26 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ian Williams. One person was injured in a fire caused by an explosion at the Shiawassee Area Transit Agency yesterday afternoon. According to a Facebook post by the Michigan Public Transit Association, the explosion happened in a propane tank at or near a service garage in Owasso Township. The injured man was taken to Hurley Medical Center in Flint. His condition was fire caused severe damage to truck and bus bays in the garage. The Owasso Township Fire Department and departments from Ovid and Elsie, Corunna, Caledonia, and Langsburg responded to the scene. The cause is under investigation. A Midland man is looking to run for state senate, representing residents in Midland, Bay City, and Saginaw in the 35th District. Chris Velasquez is a small business owner who also worked for nearly 30 years at Dow Corning. He serves on the State STEM Advisory Council, which makes recommendations to state officials on STEM education. Velasquez, running as a Republican, says he understands the burden of government impacting small business, move barriers for entrepreneurs to retain and attract jobs and investment. State Representative Annette Glenn and former Republican State Representative Tim Kelly are also running to become the Republican nominee in the 35th District race. The nominee will face Democrat Christian McDonald Ribbett on November 8th. Saginaw Valley State University and the firm conducting its search for a new president have developed a leadership profile that outlines the key qualifications, experience, and values they're looking for. More than 250 SVSU stakeholders, including students, faculty, staff, alumni, and community members, took part in listening input to shape the profile that's been posted on the presidential search website. An 18-member search advisory committee will review and interview candidates in late spring or early summer, then identify a list of eligible candidates to share with the SVSU Board of Control. The Board of Control will review those candidates, conduct interviews, and make its selection. Anyone can submit nominations and recommendations by the deadline of Monday, April 25th, to the search firm Witt Kiefer by email. SCSU President Donald Bashad plans to retire at the end of this year. WSGW News Time is 11:07.
Inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar. Granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
WSGW News Time is 11:08. The three candidates vying for the Republican nomination for Michigan Attorney General took part in a debate at the North Oakland Country Club in Waterford Township. State Representative Ryan Berman, Attorney Matthew DePerno, and former House Speaker Tom Leonard opened up the debate with how and why current AG Dana Nessel. DePerno spoke about his support and ability to interpret the law.
We need experienced constitutionalists right here. I'm endorsed by Donald Trump. I'm endorsed by Michonne Maddock. I'm endorsed by Marion Sheridan, Diane Schindelbeck, and Bernadette Smith. I will defeat Dana Nessel.
The Republican candidate for AG will be chosen at a convention in Grand Rapids next month. The state plans to begin reporting Michigan's COVID-19 data once per week as the numbers of cases and deaths decline. Michigan's Department of Health and Human Services says its online COVID-19 dashboard will be updated only on the data is posted on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but that changes starting on Monday. Michigan has reported more than 2 million confirmed COVID-19 cases and 32,758 deaths since the start of the pandemic. Between Saturday and Monday, 1,258 newly confirmed cases and 6 deaths were reported. When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. A winter weather advisory will go into effect. We'll see mostly sunny skies here for today with a high around 40 degrees. Southeast winds of 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for tonight, a chance for some snow showers and a chance for snow, freezing, rain, and sleet mixing here late. Cloudy skies, a low near 29. By Wednesday, a chance for freezing rain early, then change into rain. Cloudy skies, high 55 degrees. Then on Thursday, a slight chance for rain showers, cloudy, high 51. Friday, partial sunshine develops, a high 41. Saturday, partly sunny, high 47. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 27.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And good morning. Welcome back to Focus here on WSGW. I'm Art Lewis from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. And our program is brought to you by Roof Max, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about Roof Max online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. Roof Max. And remember, that's with 2 X's. On Focus today, we're going to focus on Rocket Grab Plus and the storefront with all its goodies that you save at least half on. But in order to participate, you need to sign up. So go to rocketgrabplus.com. That's plus Plus, and just fill out the little form. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to make any commitments. What will happen then is you will get notifications every time there is a new item on Rocket Grab Plus. Usually that's once a week, like on a Thursday. And you'll save at least 50% on that item if you want to buy it. But it's strictly up to you. You make the choice. So you could be a Rocket Grab Plus member and never spend a nickel, or you could buy items all the time. Strictly up to you. So let's give you an idea of the diverse nature of the items, because there are a variety of items that come across rocketgrabplus.com. Some of them you have to act quickly on, particularly restaurant items. They tend to go in record time, sometimes under an hour, and they're gone. So when you get that notification in your email, if it's something you're interested in, act right away. Don't wait. So let's take a look at what there is. The current deal, this is the most recent Rocket Grab deal, is for a store called Style Encore. Style Encore is a place where they buy and sell gently used women's casual and business clothing, shoes, handbags, accessories, all the hottest name brands, up to 90% less than regular price if you were to buy those brand new. Now, you're buying a $40 gift certificate to Style Encore for only $20, and you have over a year to use that certificate because it doesn't expire until March 30th of 2023. So again, a $40 certificate for only $20 to use at Style Encore. Moving on, and remember I told you it's a diverse group of items. Here is a $42 value for $21 for an adventure at Frankenmuth Aerial Park for one person. Again, $42 value costs you $21. The Frankenmuth Aerial Park wants to welcome you to this great adventure in the trees, if you will. This is admission for one for a 2-hour session. Depending on the climber and the trails chosen, climbers can generally complete 2 to 4 trails during the 2-hour session. Again, it depends. If you're starting out and you're taking the beginning trails, you might be able to do multiples. If you're taking the advanced trails, you might get a couple of them in. And this includes a combination of ropes, courses, and zip lines for family entertainment. Participants fly through the air, swing through the trees, and challenge themselves on an aerial obstacle course. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, there's a course for you. And again, it's a $42 certificate for only $21. It's the way it works. It's half price. Here is another one from Applied Training Solutions. This is a four-person private 60-minute firearm virtual training event. It's a $100 value, but you only pay $50 for it. Applied Training Solutions offers this training at the Midland Mall. It's one of the Midwest's premier firearm simulator training centers. $100 certificate, $50 for you and 3 of your friends to get a private 60-minute firearm virtual training event. And while you're talking to them, you might ask them if you're interested in a CPL. They do offer CPL training at Applied Training Solutions. We're going to take a break, come back, got lots more items on Rocket Grab Plus to tell you about.
Annette Glenn, working to restore voter trust. Annette Glenn voted to require a photo ID to vote. Take dead people off the rolls. Make it illegal to connect voting machines to the internet. Force the Secretary of State to obey state law. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do. And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
This tax filing season could be one for the record books. There are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table, and Jackson Hewitt will help make sure you get every one you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, taking classes, and so much more. Don't leave thousands on the table. Jackson Hewitt will make sure you get credit for all you do and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more and find your nearest location at jacksonhewitt.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
Are you aware the average person blinks 1,000 times an hour? Who cares? Just be aware of the Powerball jackpot. We're talking big.
Wednesday's Powerball jackpot, 209.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
Online poll this week is a little bit later, no pun intended, since it's going to be about daylight saving time.
Oh, yeah, right.
The WSW online poll, permanent time. So recently, the U.S. Senate passed the Sunshine Protection Act to make daylight saving time permanent. The legislation still must be approved by the House, signed into law by President Biden. If it happens, we no longer change time twice a year. Many support the idea of no more time changes, though not all are on board that it should be daylight saving time permanent. Some say it should be standard time permanent.
Yeah.
There's our poll question. What should be the permanent time in these United States? Should it be daylight saving time, meaning more dark in the morning and lighter later? Should it be standard time, meaning more light in the morning, darker earlier in the evening? Leave the time changes as they are right now, or you're not sure. Your chance to make your vote by going to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, and make your vote that way.
John, Dale, Gary, Debbie, are you listening?
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9. EW. This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
All right. Back with you here on WSGW. Somebody keeps putting up little signs. Let's go back to Rocket Grab because we've got all kinds of good stuff to talk about here. Here are two offers from 120 Fitness. You can sign up for a year-long membership to 120 Fitness for half off the normally $318 price for only $159. Or you can sign up for a 1-month membership, which we'll tell you about. Let me tell you about the club. You get to check out this Old Town Saginaw's only gym, and you would pay for this membership and then call them and set it up. They're located at 118 South Hamilton. 120 Fitness offers you top-of-the-line Vision Fitness and Landis cardio equipment, body solid dumbbells, a variety of strength training equipment, on-site personal trainer, fitness classes, lockers, changing rooms. They also offer a stretching and abdominal area where you'll find medicine balls, BOSU balls, mats, resistant bonds, and more. So it is a complete fitness club. 120 Fitness. Again, that 1-year membership It's a $318 value. You can buy it for the whole year for $159. Now, if you only wanted to try it out, you can buy a 1-month membership. That's a $36 value for only, that's a $32 value for only $16. 120 Fitness, all waiting for you at Rocket Grab Plus. Next up, we have One-Up Games and Repairs, a $25 gift certificate for only $12.50. One-Up Games is a veteran-owned company that offers buy, sell, trade, and repairs, video games, consoles, cell phones, arcade games, and more. 2 locations, one in Saginaw, one in Bay City. They offer a wide variety of products, which they sell as new and used, video games, consoles, accessories, board games, movies, and as I mentioned, they also repair tablets, game systems, cell phones, computers, and more. And I know the Saginaw location, at least, is also an Amazon pickup area. One-Up Games and Repairs. A $25 gift certificate. It's yours for only $12.50. Here is a Salon Blue Cut and Brow Wax. This is for the Midland Salon, Salon Blue. It is a $63 value for the cut and brow wax. Yours for only $31.50. Half price. As you have probably heard by now, everything I've told you is 50% off. And finally, Uplift is the name of this organization. And a $100 certificate for only $50 will provide you with a party of 4 for 2 adults and 2 youth for a tie-dye session at Uplift Creative Center in either Midland or Bay City. And again, this is a $100 value. Uplift Creative Center is a place where you can come in and be creative in lots of ways, from learning how to make tie-dye, acrylic and resin painting. You can learn soap making, crocheting, knitting, and so much more. They host events, private parties. It's a unique place to shop for anyone on your gift list, too. Uplift. This certificate, a $100 certificate for only $50 for a party of 4, including 2 adults and 2 youth, for a tie-dye session at Uplift Creative Center in Midland or Bay City. So that's what you're going to find on RocketGrabPlus.com. Sign up today, get the notifications each week, and then you'll be in the know. And we will be back to close out this edition of Focus.
Welcome to the Tree. Park is gearing up for the 2022 season. Here's your chance to come and work in this exciting outdoor